Please, haters, leave me alone. Leave me alone, haters. I'm not saying Filipino food is bad. I'm saying I love Filipino food and I want all of you to help me to make Filipino food better. And if we do that here, then it's going to actually be the next big global Filipino food when we start looking after our food and our cuisine and our rich culinary traditions better. Hi, mga Urbano, it's Chris here, and today I have a very simple message for all Filipinos globally, and especially dito sa Pilipinas mismo, na Filipinos, stop eating junk. Before you all start like angrily writing like, hey, we hate you Urbano, don't rubbish Filipino food. Guys, look at my channel. I'm the world's biggest advocate for Filipino cooking. Nobody can be like, Urbano, you hate our food. I love Filipino food. I've devoted hours and weeks and days and months of my life to cooking and preparing and getting to know Filipino culinary arts. And this is actually quite a deep and personal message for me to Filipinos, because my biggest frustration here as a foreign chef, it's not the quality of the cuisine. Filipino cuisine is amazing. Everybody's saying it is amazing. What is not amazing about Filipino cuisine, especially here in the Philippines, is how bad the quality of actual ingredients is. And what I'm talking about is everything is from a factory. Getting fresh vegetables is next to impossible in this country. Like, you go into the supermarket and my God, ang sad ng mga vegetable selection dun. Like, everything is old, rotting, low quality. And on the streets, it's just as bad. Like, you go out for street food and everything is put on carbs, carbs on carbs on carbs kind of cooking. Try to find the meat, try to find the fresh vegetables in street cooking. Everything is packet mix. You get some meat, you get like 1 carrot, 1 potato, and then you add packet mix, MSG. That's like my biggest concern about the future of Filipino food. Now, a couple of years ago, remember there was these yung couple of dayuhan na parang they're backpackers or something, I think. And yeah, sure, they were being a bit attention grabbing, and they said this whole like, I'd rather go hungry than eat Filipino food again. And I'll show you this video actually, because I was interviewed after that by Channel 5 about anong perception ko sa yung sinasabi nila tungkol sa Pinoy food.
Nainis din ako, binasa ko yun. I was like, really? That's what you guys tasted here? That was your impressions that you formed? Like, how could it be so different from, the impressions I formed here? I mean, if you're an experienced traveler, you don't go to a 7-Eleven and buy the hot dog and then make your comments about the Philippines based on that. So in a way, I feel sorry for them that they missed out and they've walked away with that kind of an impression of food in the Philippines.
So I think that was actually their loss, that they didn't enjoy Filipino food and didn't even try to get to know it. But the one thing that they were possibly right about is that if you visit here as a tourist, it's not that obvious where the good Filipino food is. And if you just walked out on the streets in an area like Malate, you're probably going to encounter literally like a fishbowl seller. And you're going to be like, Filipino street food. Like, fishbowl is literally carton from a factory. And then you dip it in fishbowl sauce, which is literally like Sprite, cornstarch, soy sauce from a bottle. Like, there's very little fresh food going on here. Like, you're having a shredded cardboard box basically dipped in Sprite. It's funny how Filipinos have adapted that. It's a low-cost meal, but it's not really representative of what Filipino cuisine can be and what Filipino has been in the past. Like, the glory of Filipino food is not fishbowl. And that's actually, for a lot of people who try to eat Filipino on the street, that's the experience they're getting. Or you get pancit, and this is like my pancit in my upcoming cookbook. Send me an email if you want to get a copy of my upcoming cookbook at chris@maputingcooking.com. But this is my pancit canton, right? And it looks totally amazing because we've used all the fresh ingredients and everything. And then here is a pancit canton from a carinderia in Manila, where the quality is just literally noodles, spot the vegetables, can't see it. And I know that's the reality. A lot of people have to eat that here in the Philippines because it's cheap. But that's really the quality difference. And when I travel Southeast Asia, because I think most of you know I spent a lot of time in Indonesia, I've been to Thailand, to Malaysia, the street food there is just of a totally different level kaysa sa Pilipinas. And the reason really is like, you just see how they're using the traditional fresh ingredients. It's not all the packet mix. In Indonesia, they're gonna still be like hand grinding the spice or whatever for your satay. They're going to be in Thailand making that papaya salad where it's a real grated papaya and they're grating it in front of you with real ingredients like the real carrots and real fresh greens and just a bit of vinegar or whatever. And you don't see packet mix everywhere. So this is really what I want to try to get across to Filipinos. The foreign chef here, and what we want to do with Maputing Cooking is to help you guys actually choose better and eat better, because this won't change unless Filipino consumers and chefs and home chefs start to actually ask for real food again. So how did this happen? Like, how did we get to this state where Filipino food is now what I'd call a highly industrialized food supply chain? So what do we mean by that? We mean this is a place where big food companies really control everything that's in the supermarkets. If you watch TV in the Philippines, all you can see is ads for processed junks. Like I was watching the other day when I'm at the gym, I'm watching the commercials. They interest me more because it tells me like what is being marketed and advertised in terms of food dito sa Pilipinas. And what I see is one ad is going to be packet mix. Next ad is going to be flavor sauce. Next ad is going to be MSG. Next ad is going to be baby formula. Like your kid's going to be a rocket scientist because they drink milk powder with vitamins in it. I mean, come on, right? And I'm watching this going like, I didn't see a single ad for fresh vegetable or healthy cooking. Everything is, here's a shortcut. And it's always this like painful ad to watch where it's like this perfect Pinoy mom and her kid is this like perfect kid. And then she's like, I give my kid chemicals. She's like tipping the chemicals in. I give my child chemicals. And then there's the money shot. She's like stirring in the chemicals. And I'm like, what the hell is this? You're literally, I don't want to say you're poisoning your child, like at least not that day, not overnight, but like a lifetime of eating this stuff cannot be good for you. I know the big food company is going to be like, oh, MSG is safe, flavor mix is safe. But I'm like, yeah, but if you have the choice between eating chemicals and not eating chemicals, why do you want to eat chemicals? It's not like it's hard to avoid it. But you just see this and then it's like, oh yeah, you're a better mom because you gave your kid MSG. Like, it's ridiculous. So I've actually been thinking I should start making some of my own commercials where it's going to be like, this is my son AJ and he's just been selected by NASA to be one of the first humans who go to Mars in the upcoming Mars missions. And that's because I feed AJ vegetables. Here I have a plate of vegetables like sitaw and carrot, and I feed them to my son, and now he's like going to be a rocket scientist and go to Mars. And I can make an ad like this, and then the hashtag is going to be like hashtag eat a carrot PH. So that's sort of my plan for if I was asked to make an ad, but I really do think this is a problem. Like I'm sort of joking a little bit about it, but the information that you see on television, it's just terrible in terms of what they're encouraging Pinoys to eat. Now, how did we get to that state? I think it really goes back decades. I've been researching this as part of my book to the US period. They really flooded this market with a lot of processed meats, canned goods, packet mixes, sauces, flavor enhancers, soft drinks that are now used in a lot of Filipino street cooking. And you know, they were cheap, and Filipinos, certainly at that time, was a more prosperous place today. But 50 years ago, I mean, money's hard to come by. Siyempre na mas mura yung mga factory items. But over time, what we've landed at is a place where Filipinos have forgotten how to cook with fresh and real ingredients. And as a result, I think the biggest thing holding back Filipino food on the world stage is not the quality of the cuisine as it was cooked 100 years ago. It's that we as a nation have forgotten really how to cook this properly at home without the use of all of these chemical flavor enhancers and sauces and packet mixes. And that's great for the profits of the big food companies, but it's really bad for Filipino food and cooking. And part of why I started this whole Maputing Cooking project is that I want to eat well while being in the Philippines, and that's actually a lot harder than it sounds. I have to send a guy on a motorcycle to Tagaytay every 2 weeks if I want really fresh quality ingredients, literally direct to farms that are 60 kilometers away, because that food is not making it to supermarkets here in the Philippines. We have these so-called farmers markets that are springing up around the city. They are no good. It is literally just resellers cashing in on the like hipster appeal of, oh, I'm at a farmers market, so I'm some boho hipster. I'm gonna get a picture of myself for Insta standing next to this lettuce. And it's about like basically pretending that we're all really into food, but that food is so expensive, it's not funny. So for me, I'm really like, how do we as a nation get to a point where fresh food is cheaper and more widely available? We stop this reliance on packet mixes for flavors and we learn how to cook again. And that starts with you, mga kabano. I'm advocating this. This is actually what my show is about. But until we collectively as a nation go, no, we actually want to eat better. We're going to choose better. We're going to read the labels and say, is this crap or not? That's the time it's going to change, when those companies can no longer just sell us this junk and we lap it up. So if you want to help make Filipino food great again, that's an original slogan, I think. I don't think anybody's used that before, but if you want to help make Filipino food great again, what can you do? So there's 3 ideas I have for you. So one is, seriously, watch some of the cooking recipes that I do on this show. I've actually had some of our Cabanos abroad write in and say, Urbano, you're the only YouTuber who does Filipino cooking who makes sinigang without packet mix. Like, you use real tamarind. And I didn't think that was a very high bar. Like, for me, that is sinigang. Like, I don't think to pour chemicals into my soup. I always make it with tamarind, with calamansi, with bayabas, with papaya. That's just how to make sinigang. And we show you how to do that. If you don't know how to make tamarind extract, I will show you how to make tamarind extract. It's a lot easier than you think, and the taste is amazing. So this is the first thing you can do, Cabano, is go through the Maputing Cooking playlist. Find 3 recipes that you love and see how to make them from scratch with no chemicals, no factory ingredients, just straight up real meat, real vegetables, real food. The second thing that you can do, of course, is get a bit more educated as a Pinoy shopper. When you go to the supermarket, try reading the actual packet, read the label and see what ingredients are there. If it's soy sauce, does it contain soybeans? If it's patis, does it contain fish? Because actually a lot of them don't. And just read the packet. If it says soy sauce and there's no soybeans, if it says patis and there's no fish, don't buy that product. And if you read it and you see the words chemical flavor enhancers, 621 is the chemical code for MSG if you want to avoid that in your cooking. So just do like some basic research. And in fact, we've made a bunch of videos about comparing all of the different leading brands on the basis of how good does it taste, what about the quality of ingredients, and then the price point. So I've made it so easy for you guys. Like, watch some of these videos. We'll put this playlist here. Is all about how to choose better when you're in the store, which soy sauce is the best for the price point. It's not all about buying the most expensive, like everyone's pesos are tight, but let's at least choose the best from the options we do have. And over time, that in itself is going to make companies go, oh, the market really wants higher quality. They want soy sauce with soybeans in it. They want fish sauce with fish in it. Let's start making more of that, because those companies are being rewarded. But at the moment, it just feels like Filipinos always buy on brand, like, oh, ito yung brand, ito yung may endorser. You're better to buy the one na medyo tahimik lang sila sa advertising, sa marketing budget. Now, the third thing that you can do is like go out of your way to actually get better ingredients. And sometimes that means, like, you know, when you're on that Tagaytay trip, don't just do the bed and breakfast and the Ferris wheel or go out to Lake Taos. Stop at Mahogany Market and buy fresh, or stop at a few farms and literally buy. You can get an entire thing of bananas in Tagaytay for 50 pesos. It's amazing. You stop on the side of the road, buy stuff direct from the farmers, because that is the best ingredients you can get in this country. So highly recommend that, thinking a bit more about where and how you source your food. Or maybe you get a little co-op together. You set one person up per week. They do a big shop for everybody, and then you like divide those goods between each other, right? Like a vegetable co-op. And even starting to grow at home, which I have my gardening videos up as well that you can take a look at, which is all about how to actually grow your own food in the Manila urban environment. Because I'm not here to just be like, oh, stop eating junk, but I have no suggestions for you. I have suggestions on what you can do if you want to eat better and live healthier dito sa Pilipinas. Hashtag rant over, hashtag eat the carrot PH. I think I need to let you guys get back on with your day and start thinking about how you might eat better. If you agree with me, and if you don't agree with me, why don't you leave a comment saying why? I'd love to hear from you guys. Let's have a constructive debate about yung kung anong, you know, what should we do about this dito sa Pilipinas to make sure that we are cooking our food and using ingredients that are worthy of how great Filipino cuisine is. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you haven't already commented, please do. And if you haven't already pressed that little bell, the notification one, please press that so you never miss another episode of Food and Fun from the Philippines with me, Chris Urbano. I'll see you next time. Bye now.